What is good, guys? M.V.K here, coming to you again. Your alpha is here. How's everybody doing? So, guys, if there is the one thing I respect and also have a bit of fear of is a lot of Native American legends in terms of some of the scary things. And some of those happen to be, one, the Navajo skinwalker. I am very terrified of that. And another one would definitely be the Wendigo. Now, the Wendigo, guys, is this creature that feasts off of human flesh. Cannibalism is a big case of it. There is a movie that was supposed to be coming out, but because of what the pandemic that's going on, it's been pushed back or so. It was called Antlers, and it was dealing with the Wendigo. Last time we saw something deal with the Wendigo, and I'm not talking about Marvel Comics Wendigo. I'm talking about the true story of the Wendigo, the Native American legend. I believe I forgot what tribe it originates from. I think it's more northwestern, Algonquin. There we go. I think it's Algonquin. Correct me on that one. But we're going to watch a video called from Most Amazing, and it's called Top 10 Scary Wendigo Stories. I'm not going to watch the whole, we're going to chop this up. We're probably going to watch only, we're going to listen to I'm going to chop out the last part, so if you want to watch the link in the description down below to watch the last one. But like I was saying before, guys, last time we saw the Wendigo be really big in any kind of form of media that I can remember. One was the Until Dawn game, and I believe also was in the last Pet Cemetery. The Wendigo was in that, and the TV series, which I thought was really good, the Sleepy Hollow TV series. They played a big part with the Wendigo in that as well. So yeah, it's been around in social and media pretty well. And I wanted to see Antlers because I thought they were it was going to be a real scary story, but it was also going to take this legend very seriously. And so I'm really looking forward to hearing these stories. Good for them. I'm kind of doing this at midday and not doing it at night because I'll get pretty creeped out. But anyway, guys, let's do this. Here we go. Thank you for hitting that play button. You're going to get your entertainment's worth. Yeah, so here we go. Top 10 scary Wendigo stories. Let's do this. Here we go. And now.
What is up, you guys? Hope you're having an awesome day. I'm your host, Eamon Hassan.
And Mount Hassan is hot. I love her. She's gorgeous.
I've honestly wanted to do this one for quite a while. For the uninitiated, the Wendigo is a mythological evil spirit or creature that hails from folklore of the First Nations Algonquin tribe.
Yeah, Algonquin. Here we go. I was right.
It can apparently possess and be a human, making them do horrible things like murder, switch to cannibalism, become incredibly greedy, and so forth. Their reputation is so bad within indigenous communities that Wendigo psychosis is a thing where people are so terrified of becoming a cannibal or a Wendigo.
See what I'm talking about?
Start craving human meat. So yes, this creature is bad, and the stories are even worse, so let's just get straight into it. These are the top 10 scary Wendigo stories. Starting off at number 10 is Swift Runner. Now this story must be one of, if not the most famous cases of Wendigo psychosis ever reported. Plains Cree trapper Swift Runner was a First Nations man from Alberta, and in the winter of 1878, Swift's family was starving. His oldest son ended up dying shortly after from starvation, and shortly after that, out of nowhere, Swift killed and ate his wife and 5 children. Now Swift was not a cannibal. He only lived 25 miles away from Hudson's Bay emergency food supplies, so if he was truly that hungry, he would have just done the trek and gotten food. It was later revealed that he was suffering from Wendigo psychosis, and he was executed after his confession, in which he said he was possessed by a Wendigo spirit during his killing spree. Imagine being so scared of becoming this cannibalistic monster that your paranoia and fear are the very things that turn you into it.
Nope.
Coming in at number 9 are the frogs. This one was shared by Reddit user Unathana, who said growing up he spent his summers with his grandma out in the country. Her house was situated near a pond that housed more than a couple of frogs, and let's just say they were loud as hell. The user used to complain about all the noise when he was trying to sleep, so his grandma decided to tell him this story. Long before the grandma owned the house, it belonged to a very old couple. The man hated the frogs croaking all the time and wanted to get rid of them, but his wife told him they kept the Wendigo away. Brushing her off completely, he decided to go around the pond and catch all the frogs, and obviously it took some time, but he eventually did catch them all. That night, without the singing frogs, the man and his wife were brutally slaughtered and eaten by the Wendigo. Despite the user thinking it was just an old ghost story, he had never been more scared in his life
The hell?
when he heard the frogs stop croaking himself. At number 8, we have Jack Fiddler. Back in 1907, OG Creed chief and medicine man Jack Fiddler was infamous for defeating Wendigos, and he was apparently really bloody good at it. Jack and his brother went after people who either had Wendigo psychosis or had transformed completely into Wendigos. The duo killed up to 14 people, and because Jack was known to have these great powers capable of stopping the spirit of Wendigos, that's how he got away with killing as many people as he did. However, in 1907, they were arrested for murder and homicide for the people they were trying to save. Jack ended up committing suicide prior to his sentence, and his brother Joseph died in prison days before finding out he was actually pardoned and was set free. You could have had it all, Joseph. You could have had it all. Could have had it all. Like number 7 slot is Pet Sematary. Our Lord and Savior Stephen King has blessed us with some of the scariest stuff I've ever seen or read. His book Pet Sematary actually has a Wendigo as the thing responsible for resurrecting all the animals and humans that were interred in the Micmac cemetery. The family just stopped using the land because they think it's gone bad or sour, but really it's the Wendigo who's behind everything. It starts infecting the minds of the characters, and they start having visions of each other and wanting to kill each other, and some of them actually end up going through with it. The reanimated creatures are horribly changed. They're essentially just vessels for the Wendigos to put their spirits into and just to kill. I know this one is very fictional, but King did a lot of research into the mythical creature before writing the book.
See?
So a lot of the scary elements...
And that's why Stephen King is one of the best.
Also, if you've seen the movie. Ugh, that was bad. In a good way. Bad in a good way. Now, number 6 is the Texan Wendigo Part 1.
Texas
Shared by
what?
Stan Ricky from Yorktown, Texas. He said this took place on the 12th of January last year. The boy was bored as hell and had walked around his entire town that night and decided to finally go home. The route to get home had a large wooded area near it, and despite no one in town really exploring it, the boy thought it'd be a great idea to go through it that night. As he's coming up to the edge of the woods, he sees this massive 8 to 10 foot very pale figure walking away from the woods and going towards one of the houses. He decides at this point to avoid that situation altogether and go straight into the woods, but he was just overwhelmed with this feeling of dread and this feeling of being watched. Can you imagine how scared this guy probably was? It's like 1 a.m. He's in the woods. He just saw this enormous figure. I don't even know why he went into the woods to begin.
I would have actually turned back around and
makes a decision that you know is going to kill them, and you're just like, come on, why? You know better. You were raised better than that. Coming in at number 5 is the Texan Wendigo Part 2, and yes, it does not end there. Either way, the feeling of being watched gets worse and worse, and now he's at the point where he's looking behind him every 3 seconds, checking to make sure it's not there. Now, the 5th time he does this, he sees it. This time, the Wendigo is on all fours, still standing at about 5 feet tall. It had the whitest skin, almost like it had been bleached. The face was human-looking, the eyes were deep pits of black, and its arms were Slender Man level long. Like, this is precisely the sight you never want to see in daylight, let alone when you're walking alone in the woods at night. The Wendigo started swaying back and forth like it was debating how it was going to pounce on the boy. He wasted no time running the hell out of those woods and eventually getting home, making sure he did not look back even
Really?
once.
He got home? I thought it
God knows what he would have seen. I would have shot myself.
I thought he would have got caught because they always say the Wendigo is really fast.
Enter the woods,
So
not enter the woods. At number 4 are the Wendigo Woods Part 1. This was from traveling storyteller who shared that one summer her parents bought a new vacation home and they went to live in it for a few months. The log house was near the coast of the Atlantic
That's a
Ocean,
nice house.
right on the US-Canadian border. Either way, when they arrived, the girl called out to her dad, who was inside, and asked if he could help her bring her suitcase in, and he obviously said yes. I love when dads are there just to do stuff like that. Go you dads. Either way, the dad came out the front door, and all of a sudden, he froze.
Why?
He was looking at something behind the user, and his eyes looked paralyzed with fear as his skin got paler and Taylor. And mind you, her dad was not a small guy by any means. He was huge himself, but somehow scared of whatever he was looking at. Within seconds, he snapped out of it and brought the suitcase inside like nothing had even happened. At dinner, the girl asked her dad what he was looking at earlier, and both parents looked like she just asked the most ridiculous question ever. Then all of a sudden, some form hit the window, shattering it, and when she looked towards the window, she saw this horrific, tall, human-like figure running away. Dun dun dun. Filling in the 3 slot are the Wendigo Woods Part 2. I mean, after all that went down, there was 100% definitely going to be an elephant in the rooms, and so now the user was like, what the hell was that? Because her parents didn't even look that night. Their blood pressure did not even raise. Mine is raised just telling the story. Now eventually the parents broke and asked her if she had ever heard of the legend of the Wendigo. They explained it to her, telling her that the location of their log house was the epicenter of all Wendigo sightings that had ever happened. The couple believed that the area was the center of the lore and they wanted to capture one if possible and examine and study it. The girl did not sleep a wink for the next 2 months and surprisingly encountered numerous Wendigo sightings. What I don't get is why the Wendigos didn't just possess or kill or eat this family. Why are they just letting them be? Now, at number 2 is the Thumb.
The what?
This one was shared by the user Kodas Gaming, who lives in Killeen, Texas. Now, the user was about 11 or 12 at the time of the story, and he was walking home from his friend's house around sunset. For some reason, that night, the streets were a lot emptier than usual. It was quiet, and there was no one around. After passing 5 houses, the boy suddenly felt the shiver go down his spine. Something was watching him, and he could feel it, and as soon as he turned around, his worst fears were confirmed. The thing was as grey as molten clay and about 7 to 8 feet tall. Its arms were extremely
until dawn. There you go, right there.
Twigs, and his eyes and mouth were deep black sockets. It also had some kind of black rag around its neck, which had no purpose whatsoever, it just made it even creepier. Now, as soon as the guy saw the Wendigo, he ran home, and he could fully hear the thumps of the creature following him. Now, as soon as the boy finally got inside, slammed the door, and locked it, he said he felt a thump along the door, and it felt like a dead corpse just falling against the door. He then rushed to the window to see if it was still there, and all he saw was the Wendigo vanish into thin air. Remind me never to go to Texas, because that's not happening. And finally...
Okay, we're done. Alright, see, now I got creeped out by some of these stories. Like I said, I'm lucky I'm doing this at midday. It's not dark yet. So that was, I ended there. If you want to hear the first story, go listen, go link in the description down below. There is a part 2 to this. And I'm going to put the second part on my all reaction channel, so you go over there to watch that. The Wendigo legend is a legend that you could say it's a legend and it don't, and about, oh, it's fake, Chris, like, why you get scared about stuff like that? Hey, man, look, man, stuff like that kind of creeps me out, and Native American legends are something that I take very, very serious. I don't joke around with them. I don't be like, oh, that's bullshit. Nope. I take it very seriously, and I don't care what, if it's a skinwalker, it's the Thunderbird, it's whatever. I take it seriously, okay? I don't fuck with that. I don't mess around and joke around and like, oh, that shit is just fake. But a lot of these stories were interesting, but the biggest thing, of course, is always showing the state of dread that, so you heard her talk about everything as how the viewer's seeing it. It's tall, its skin is pale, dead black shed eyes, and it just has a dread. Now, I've also read or seen people talk about, I've also researched and said that the Wendigo is very fast, so hence, you can't really outrun it. But these stories tell differently that, people have outrun it. But people said the way she told it was also that you can hear thuds, like that right there. I don't like things chasing me as it is, like, especially, and you can actually, if you can hear something from coming up behind you like that, that's creepy as hell. Well, guys, like I said before, I'm done. If you enjoyed this, please thumb, like, share. If you want to continue watching number 1, because by the time this video goes by, I've already seen issue the first story. I will be uploading the second part on my all reaction channel. I thought I'd start it here and push it to my all reaction channel, But other than that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Um, I'm see, I'm seeing stuff now. It's a branch. My window's right open. And I can see like a tall branch, and it was swaying back and forth, creeping me out. Right? See? Okay, I'm done. I'm done. We done. Okay, we're done. Y'all take care. Deuces.